everybody. Oh, we just have desktop audio. Very nice. Hello. Yuck. I'm Spoopy. We're in Spoopy Caves today. We're in Spoopy Caves. Hola. Hello, hello. I get my notepad and my notes. I have notes. So, I was stressing. I was doing a lot of stressing to figure out what all gear to make. And then I was like, wait, the whole point of these was to make the gear with you guys. And then I stopped stressing because I realized we're supposed to be making this stuff together. So I have some stuff, but you guys can help me make other stuff. And that's the plan. That's the plan. Yeah, I have resigned myself to not arting. It gets to be too much. We chit chat. We do the chit chats. I take the notes. We do the chit chats. And then I'll art later. I have been wanting to do a lot of sketches. I just haven't been able to. I've been my brain has been in very much like admin mode, if that makes sense, like wanting to do like book work and things like that, and like getting like just like maintenance mode and not in creative mode. So it's been very difficult to sit down and draw. But that's why we're just gonna talk about it today. We're gonna chit chat a little bit. We'll come up with some stuff, and then one of these days, when I have a little bit more time on my hands, I can sit down and just draw a whole bunch. Good afternoon, V. Hope you're doing well. Hi, Razor. I got a notepad. I'll take notes. I'll take notes with you guys. Take your guys' notes. I'll take my guys' notes. Flexing with the moves, I know. God, you're a shit poster. I know. Haven't even opened my muscle milk. Bro, if you can't open up a bottle of muscle milk, I think you need more than muscle milk. I think you need to hit the gym. Yeah, so, let's open it up instead of me just going down my list. Hold on a second. I've also been battling allergies, which is crazy. This is the first time in a very long time where I've actually had to worry about allergies. So that's annoying. Oh, I'm gone. And I'm back. So, having a maintenance of already established things is important. It's true, which is good, because like it needs to happen. I just can't use the... I'm in numbers mode. I don't know why, but it is what it is. So, don't do it again. Never fun though. Hopefully it'll pass. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm one of those weird people that like have, you know, they have those people that are like, oh, they're type A personalities and type B personalities, and like I flip flop between them. Some days I'm a type A, some days I'm a type B. Type A is nice because that's when I like crazy clean my house and I get all my bills paid and I call and make doctor's appointments and stuff like that and get my oil changed, and I'm a responsible functioning adult. So and then I go back to type B, and then I am scared of talking on the phone, and I draw a lot, and I don't eat well, and so, you know, I flip-flop. It's okay. I just gotta take advantage of however I'm feeling at the time, you know, instead of trying to force it one way or another. So took a test in high school and got type. Nice. Nice. Hardcore machine. Yeah, I'm chill to vibe with, and I have many problems like a lit up dashboard. I will call you. That's literally accurate. That's 1000% accurate to my life. I think it has stuff to do with anxiety. Because the problem is like I'm getting a lot of stuff done, which is great, but it doesn't make me feel better. It makes me more anxious, which sucks. But and then in a little bit, I'm gonna check the temperature outside. I'm gonna have to open my window. Oh, actually, one second. Because it is getting pretty toasty in here, and we're gonna untoastify once it cools down a bit more outside. So just my phone's moving. One day I'll have heating and cooling in my office. Yeah, I'm still sitting at 79. So it's hotter outside than it is inside. So I don't want to open the window, even though it's rained several times. But so, let's open it up to questions. If you guys have any specific questions. Heat pump, heat pump, heat pump. I have central air. I just don't have it in my office. It's everywhere else in the house. Hello, Gato. If anyone has any questions about Canary Gear specifically, I can answer those real fast. If people don't, then I guess I will go into my list. But I have more fun answering questions than just reading off my list, so. And then I'm sure you guys get a chance to answer all your stuff. I did change a few things too, because I was doing some big hard thinks on the world and situation. So that will also change some things. I'm retconning some of the stuff I said in the past. How much gear is the average canary carrying in with them? Well, that is a good segue into what I just said, Bleach. Thank you. So I know in the past that I said that they wouldn't be staying overnight. Or there I did good, you did. Or that there wouldn't be like long-term trips into it. And then I was kind of talking to a couple people, and then doing a lot more research about actual mines. Which you would have thought I would have done that at the beginning when I decided to make the setting mines, but I hadn't. So I did a lot more research into actual mines, and in other countries that are not my own, they will do. Bye, Pickle! Oh, I don't have the things here. Pickle, thank you for the raid. Thank you, thank you. I don't have my alerts on this one, on this scene. Thank you, Ash, for the follow. Oh my god, there, we'll make it ginormous since I missed it. Thank you, Pickle, for the raid. How was your stream? Thank you, thank you. Hello, what did you do? How did you go? Thank you so much. Hello, new people. My name is V. I'm a VTuber. I do art, and we are doing this right now. What we're doing is a community world building project where I have set up a setting, and then community is helping me kind of wrinkle out some of the details and helping me like kind of flesh out the world, and it's kind of become more of a community project and less of like a my thing that the community kind of fiddles with. So she made my ears bleed. Nice. There's so much piss. Can have actually died. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kami. It was a stream of vigorous pissing. Dear God. You should do something with permineralization. Is that... I'm not sure what that is. I'm guessing when things turn into minerals, like fossils. Many shoulds happen. Oh, welcome, Raiders. I played Outlast and shit. Oh, that's one game I won't play. Oh my god, you're braver than You're way braver than me, Pickle. That's too spoopy for me. Too spoopy for me. Cannot handle that. I would cry like small baby. I see why there was so much piss now. Was the sub goal already too funny? See, yeah. Well, I know like Small did it and he had like 3 panic attacks. I would cry. Lots of pauses. Okay. Alright, alright. Oh no, Commissar's not here. Okay, all right, going back to what Bleach said, which his question was, how much gear do they carry? So, a Canary, which for the new people, Canary is essentially an adventure type that goes into a cave system that we've created. And if you just kind of hang out, you'll pick up stuff pretty fast, because I repeat myself 600 times. So I promise you'll pick up on it. Also place in your sub goal, Val. Oh, you won't reach it. Okay, let me just throw it on there fast. Someone's paying attention. Where is it? Okay, we'll just throw that there at the bottom of it. Don't bother looking at it. Like, do not perceive the sub goal. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So they carry I don't have like a weight or anything specifically, but they would carry kind of like the basic gear. So like something you would take like on a hiking pack. And I know I said in the past that they wouldn't spend overnight in the foil, but upon further thought and having conversations with people and, you know, doing research into it, it wouldn't really make sense for them to like have to walk down, do a couple fights, and then walk back up. So I did create some gear that would be involved in that, and we'll go over that. But so they probably carry about like a day pack, if not like a little bit more. But they wouldn't have like enough for like a week or so. They would maybe if they're planning on staying longer, they would have someone or something along specifically to carry heavier things. But canaries are more or less a fighting unit, so they can't be weighed down too much or have to like fiddle with a backpack to get a backpack off to like start combat, if that makes sense. So probably on their actual body, probably something light, like absolute necessities, climbing gear, things like that. But then like maybe they would have like someone or something with them that would carry the heavier gear that they would have to, you know, then protect if something went south. Because they're essentially hunters, so... Like a mule? Yeah, like a mule. So maybe they bring an actual mule down. Sounds sketchy, but I'm gonna go piss and play baby brain off game to recover from the last 3 hours. Have a good stream. I lurk and listen. Okay, good luck. I hope you calm down. Okay, so now I have to go up and answer. There's a lot of questions that came through. Okay. Are crampin standard issue? Don't know what a crampin is. I feel like that's a shit post. Are there air filters built into the suits? No, they're not built into the suits. They do wear gas masks. I would like to go into the gas masks a little bit more, but as much research as I've tried to do on gas masks, I'm not a gas mask expert. And a lot of the stuff I found was very like surface level. I know there's a couple of you that are like super into that kind of stuff. So if you wanna, when we get to that, if you wanna throw some stuff out for me, that would be extremely helpful. Because, oh my god. Okay. We're scrolling, guys. I don't have chat on screen either, so I can't see if you guys are typing, but... What kind of navigational equipment do canaries carry on them? They would have like a map, like a paper map or like a linen kind of map. They wouldn't have like a compass or anything like that. So a lot of it is just oh gosh, what's it called? Like tracking skills. So they would have to just know where they've been. And I do have a couple things for that. It's not necessarily a piece of navigational equipment, but they can use it to leave like a breadcrumb trail essentially from like how to get back. But they don't have like compasses or GPSs or anything like that because the coil isn't super mapped. So Guys, you know fossils are bones that have slowly been replaced by stone. Pretty mineralization is the same thing, but with metals. You can find fossilized ancient scorpions made out of copper or crab shells made out of opal. Wow, that's cool as shit. That's super cool. Yes, lighter the better, yes. Okay, I'm getting caught up. I'm getting caught up. They have a campfire song. Maybe. I don't see why they wouldn't have a campfire song. I don't have one written up, but... The port beams of wood is slowly replaced by pre-mineralized copper. I didn't know that. That's super cool. Hello, Louise. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up with chat, so if I don't answer your things right away, I'm getting there. So, hello, Louise. Thank you for coming. I love how you are like sedimentary rock. You got so many layers to your personality. I try my best. Oh, how about a squire? Yeah. Oh yeah, because I talked about that in one of the earlier streams that they would have like apprentices. So like apprentices would probably carry extra gear and things like that. They wouldn't, you know, like, so they could be in combat, but they wouldn't necessarily be like right in the front lines of combat. Yeah, that's a good point there. Here, wait, I'm gonna write that down. Oh, apprentices. That's not how you spell it. That's fine. Carry extra gear. You guys can see that, right? I know it's kind of small. I know my my super immersive notepad. Crampon is just the boat hook for climbing. Oh, gotcha. Gas mask noises. Shift plus awesome possible. Gas mask V win. Oh no. Yeah, so compasses might not really work. Yeah, cause I mean, I don't really have anything like written up or anything like that for it, but like the coil's massive. It's huge, right? But like it's not like of this planet. So the metals in it would be different than like was it iron? So like the metals would mess with a compass, I would imagine. Do they have cartography skills, like to literally map out the coils if they get a chance? I mean, yeah, there would be like researchers that would do the most they could. Like I said in a previous stream, a lot of this specific coil in this specific city isn't explored because they're so busy turning it into like an entertainment factor. So there's like really safe areas near the top that are like mined out, cleaned out, you know, where like, so then that one would be, you know, mapped out and things like that. But like the farther you go down, the less mapped out it is. Yeah, I feel like they'd be making maps as they have areas cleared. Yeah, exactly. How about gyroscope-based compass? Oh, I'm not sure. Awkward compass. There we go. I've made it to the bottom. I don't know what a gyroscope-based compass is. So I can write that as a note for myself to look that up. Me. Gyroscope. Compass based on thanks bleach. Maps are very thin, high traveled areas, and less anywhere else. Here be coil creature. Nothing you can use is type of porous yellow sandstone with molecules. Bah! It's actually spongy, soft, and be bent like rubber, but is indeed stone. Oh man, that's super creepy. If you keep it spinning, it keeps pointing the same way. Oh, neat. The direction to north, it's set up before and synced with an actual one before use. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that sounds like something that would be useful. Okay, I like that. I did not know that was a thing. That is very neat. I'm gonna put stars next to it so I remember to look it up. Like the mechanic that Cowboy Bebop had for Mars or asteroids kept wiping Mac accuracy regularly. Well, the thing too is, like canaries would map as they go down, but then when the miners take over and come through, like it's gonna look totally different. They're going to like clear out areas. They're gonna be busting into new tunnels. They're gonna be busting into new open areas when like the wall gives, you know, things like that. So just because it's mapped doesn't mean it's gonna look like that, you know, in a year and a half. Lots of busting. Yes, so much busting. Yes, fairing collapse and all that. So does anyone have any other questions, or I can get into my stuff? Branch is no longer accessible and all. Yeah, because I was looking at mines and it's a little bit different. The mental image I have, minus the pixelation, is essentially when you're playing Minecraft and you're mining, and all of a sudden you break into some other like giant cavern and there's like lava and water and crazy shit in there, and it's just this huge open space that you didn't even know it was there. Like that's how I kind of imagine it would be. Magical beacons that compass could point to those. Okay, yeah, so we can get to something. I have something like that. I said something earlier. But how safe is the cleared out areas? So the cleared out areas are relatively safe as far as monsters go. The air, depending on where it is, they might have like air pumped in. I would imagine there'd be some kind of like pumps that would pump an air in, you know, lights, things like that to keep it safer. But nothing says, you know, miners don't bust into a whole nother open cavern, and all of a sudden that cavern's filled with monsters, and they are very much attracted to all the light and noise coming, and then all of a sudden you're getting piled full of monsters. Is it just mines, or is it like sheer drops like mountain walls? It's like tunnels, but the more I'm developing it, the more I'm gonna like have like more open spaces. So there could be like sheer drops. It's very like organic. I don't think it would be anything like a, you know, like you wouldn't like walk through a tunnel and then all of a sudden you're looking at the Grand Canyon. Like it wouldn't be like that. But, you know, you could drop down, you know, a couple stories into like a big hole or big pit or something. Just like Gauntlet. I can't believe the coils is just a Minecraft caves update. Yeah, that was like my original mental image for the coils. I've been strucken by a chicken. I don't have chickens on this scene either, guys. This is my very bare bones scene. Just because I just wanted some atmosphere here. I can throw in the chicken. My bad. It's sort of working. I think it's game capture. There it is. There you go. They're back. I reacts to impacts at least. Yeah. So you, whoa, that one just straight up missed. What the heck? Goodbye. Goodbye. I don't know where they're I don't know what's happening. I don't know where they're coming from. Yeah, so I don't know if anyone has seen these, but I was doing my research last night, and a lot of these mines have like I can't remember their actual name, but they're basically like cave-in shelters, and they're like a big tube. Like a big metal tube with a door on it, and then inside was like chairs and emergency rations and oxygen tanks and lights and a generator and like blee 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 blee. So like I'm picturing some level of that in certain spots in the coils. I can't imagine those would go like too far down, because you would have to either drag it down there or you would have to build it down there. And I don't think they would be like as crush proof as a big steel pipe. Yeah, like a bunker. But you know, it might be more, it would be safer than just, you know, just like sleeping on the ground. So sort of like a safety room, panic room. I haven't flushed them out too much. I came up, I was like thinking about it like 10 o'clock last night, so. They would have to build rails for carts to haul materials in and out. So that was something else I was thinking about. We're getting really off topic, but it's okay. That was something else I was really thinking about, and I was thinking about the state of the actual miners, not the canaries. And I feel like they wouldn't bother too much with extra gear for the miners. So the miners would dig out the rocks and the metals and the rocks and all that stuff, fill up, you know, bags, like canvas bags, and then would drag them out to like a point when someone else would grab them and drag them up. And then it would get to like one elevator that would like take it to the surface. So, like a lot of like physically back-breaking labor, if that makes sense. I saw something about gravity. I think it was from Kami. Does gravity get wonky in the coil? Wonky gravity is technically feasible. Gravity is not universal across a planet. Proximity to denser deposits like lead will have far greater gravity. Oh, weird. I don't think the gravity would be different in the coils. I don't think so. There's something like outpost or safe zones in the coast set up by past Canary teams. Yeah, so that would be like the little bunker things. I did decide on having like a safe part in the coil. That's just like a naturally like a quotation mark safe zone. where the air is actually breathable. I haven't fleshed that out too much though, so I can't talk about it too much because I just don't have anything on it. And we have stalking night predators. I mean, technically it's always night. Right? They're hyper dense kind of matter down there. Gravity could frick up a lot. We have some pockets with magic stone deposits in that would change gravity in that specific area. Well, the magic stones are in the monsters. But the magic metal, I haven't really fleshed out the magic metal a whole lot. I don't know how I would use that in the story as far as plot goes. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like, I'll make a note of it, but I can't promise anything, if that makes sense. Because I like the idea, I just don't know how I would implement it. So, if anyone doesn't have any other questions, because I know we kind of just, we go off on our own things. So, I'll just start listing some stuff that I do have, though, and then we'll talk about them a little bit. So something, oh no, why did it make it small? I don't want word wrap. Oh my god, that's not what, well, I mean, I do want word wrap, but okay, it's 16. Beep beep. Okay. A Scooby-Doo chase scenes, yeah. A little more sippy sippy wah. Alright, so you have your basics. So these are kind of like the basic things you would have. Would be climbing gear. Legal saloon in the middle of the coils that only some canaries know about. So that would include kittens, rope, anchors, carabiners, and then like your guys' favorite climbing nuts. And then you'd have and then air, so this would be your gas masks, air filtration system. So I do want to flesh this out a little bit more because I do want them to have like a special gas mask. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Gas mask. And then like filters. And probably something more, but again, I didn't get a chance to flesh them out too much, unfortunately. Mask ask. Hello, Recyc. This will be good. No cramp and shake my damn. If there is, they said that those are for ice climbing. Climbing what? They're called climbing nuts, you guys. A bunker stash with just booze, lol. Yeah, see, right, exactly. How about some sort of proximity alarm system when they stay somewhere to sleep? I think that they would just have to have someone on watch because I feel like that would be extra gear to carry. So I think the easier answer to that would just have somebody sit and be on watch. I mean, best combo would be watch and that. Well, again, but that's gear you'd have to carry. I don't know. I haven't like fleshed a lot of this out yet, guys. I feel like a proximity alarm, you would need something to alarm. You would need something that would trigger the alarm, and then you would need like all the extra stuff. I mean, the only other thing I could think of would be like, I'm trying to think of like with what I've already established, if there would be some way to do it like magically. You wouldn't have to carry so much gear. But I can't at the moment. Just string in some cans. I mean, there's that, yeah. Hooks are still useful to maintain grip and extend reach. Just justify using them. You just can't wedge them in stone unless they're magical in some way. Proximity suit. What do the rations look like? Oh, hey, that's a fantastic question because I wrote stuff for that. Oh yeah, I giggled. Oh my god. So I giggled a lot doing this because it was unintentional. I did not intend for them to be like this, but it did, and I felt stupidly clever. But okay. I don't want to just, I wrote it out like all nice and stuff, but I don't want to read it to you guys because it's cheesy. So all canaries carry rations, even the ones that have the TV crew with them. They carry their own rations on them because canaries burn through so many calories. Canaries themselves burn through a lot of calories just by having the Joktamek in them. So not even using them, they burn a lot more calories. Oh yeah, I think I saw someone ask how heavy they are. The Joktamek itself is relatively light. Everything's very like small and fine, and it's like not like a heavy thing, and it's kind of like built into your skin. So like while they do add weight, it wouldn't be like anything significantly more heavy than like having like a watch on, for example, if you had like something installed in your hand or your wrist. Remember a thing, basically a crude metal detector made with 2 pipes in the ground, 1 positive, 1 negative, and walking through a set of wires back at base. Wow, that's neat. Okay, so anyway, so they back to food. Because they just use more calories in general. When they're actively using their Joktamek, they obviously burn through a shit ton of calories. So everyone's responsible for their own calories because it's just that important. If you run out of calories to burn, if you run out of food, you can't use your Joktamek, and you probably won't be able to stand either. So you need to have food. So well-off sponsored canaries, we're gonna do that division again. They tend to carry pouches that contain a thick nutrient-dense broth, almost like a gravy, that they can kind of just suck out really fast like a Go-Gurt, or like one of those space food pouches, or those applesauce pouches, so that they can like slurp and go, but they're super duper calorie dense. So it's something that they can just replenish their calories quickly, and they're relatively light. Like blackbird food, maybe? What's blackbird food? Should I Google that? Blackbird foods, OG plant protein, and best frozen pizza. This looks a little too this looks a little too Trader Joe's for the coils. Oh, pouches of pilot suits. Yeah, pretty much. Sucking and slurping, what? Yeah, they... oh, I thought... it was like a vegan brand that came up on Google. So they... yeah, I'll write that. Sponsored... canaries. They eat... calorie... and sorry, food out of tubes, verbs out of tubes. So a non-sponsored canary, so an independent canary, someone who doesn't have a lot of money, doesn't have a lot of backing for processed, efficient things. If them eating cheese isn't canon, I will be disappointed. I don't know if I want to eat hot, sweaty, like close to your body cheese, man. I don't know. When I'm hot and tired and hungry, the last thing I want is to eat cheese. I'd be thirsty then. You know? The best tasting cheese. So independent indie canaries have... guys are gonna laugh at this. This was completely unintentional, but you're gonna laugh. They do their own rations, and they mix sesame seeds, sunflower seeds, because the world is still technically our world. They still have our same animals and stuff out in like the normal world. Sunflower seeds, pine nuts, into a thick mixture of, and I don't know why I don't copy and paste, animal fat and peanut butter, or pressing them. Few bars. Was unintentional. I was just like, this makes, I was doing research on like calorie dense foods and I was like, this makes sense. Hello, Clay. Hello, hello. So yeah, that's what they get. It's, for those who don't know, that's what a suet block is made out of for birds to eat over the winter. So for those who don't know that, that's essentially what birds eat over the winter. So it's funny because they're canaries. Hello, ammonia, welcome. Them canaries got that hardtack, yeah? Yeah, they would have that. Anything that's like lightweight and they can carry. So if you think like maybe beef jerky, if someone has enough money to have like meat, like actual meat, they could probably carry beef jerky, things like that. Just think of like poor Oregon Trail people. It would be that kind of that kind of food that they would be carrying. Strong boost has a lot of calories. Yeah, but that also makes you drunk and then you die to a monster because you're drunk. You also have to be careful because it's not just a matter of like eating calories, like you still have to be semi-healthy with the calories. Right? It's like if like bodybuilders burn a lot of calories, but if they're just drinking nothing but soda, that's a high calorie diet, but they're still gonna fail because it's not a high, you know, it's low in protein and everything. So, drunkenly fighting Deborah would be funny. That would be the best. Like that they just have like a show where it's like drunk fighting Deborah. Drunk Deborah fights. I drink so that the enemies get drunk. Big brain strat. Are they eating hardtack or like rice balls? I imagine they would have hardtack. I don't know about rice balls necessarily. That's a very that is a very locational I don't know, locational dish. Imagine you mean this cool monster hunter just to die of dysentery. Yeah, right? Alright. What else we got? What else we got? I did talk about the guard cooling system a lot of it last week. For those who weren't here, I'll do like a quick like rundown of what it is. And then once that stream is up, then you guys can get more information on that. The VODs are finally going up again, by the way. So the first ever VOD where I was covering lore is up on YouTube right now. So if you guys want, I can link that real fast. You can put it into your watch later nonsense. Let me just pull that up for you. Pause. Don't make sense. I'll just throw that there. We should do another making a monster stream soon. We haven't made a monster in a hot minute. We should make a monster. So we should make another monster. But there's that. So more are scheduled to come up in the next couple days, weeks. So keep an eye out there for more of these kinds of VODs. They'll all have like world building. They'll be in a world building playlist too. So but yeah, I'll talk about we got an ad. So we'll wait for the ad to clear out and then I'll go into talking about the guard cooling system. If anyone's got any questions, now's the time. Did you like the Steam Glide idea? I do. I like it a lot. And I like your cryo thing too. I'm trying to figure out how to make the Steam Glide idea work. Only because, you know, they're an on-the-body system and there's relatively small hoses. So if you're using it to like boost yourself up onto places, you would have to have a pretty large tank of water to keep it pressurized. So like, and I don't know if the bodies would necessarily be creating enough heat where like you would be able to consistently use it regularly. Well, so like you would need to have some kind of heating element too. So I don't think it's something that can necessarily be built into the cooling system. I think it would have to be something separate from the cooling system. Mario Sunshine gets away with it. I do like it though. I got a lot of really funny ideas for like little like 4-panel comics around the jetpacks. Yeah, so Bigly, if you don't know because you missed a couple streams or not, actually using the magic heats up their bodies really fast and really hot, so that's why they have the cooling systems. And I'll explain it in a minute or so. That's why they have the cooling systems to lower their body temperatures, because they will literally boil their own brains if they don't have that while they're using their magic. Which prevents them from using their magic all the time, because if you don't have a cooling system on, you could kill yourself. Oh, now it tells me the ad break is in. That's nice. All textile companies for gear production. Yeah, I do wanna like make a bunch of companies, or have you guys make a bunch of companies for funsies. Ooh, magic penalties, I respect this. Hello. Hello, welcome. Yeah. I feel like magic systems should have limits and or penalties, because it makes it more fun to work around them. Bleach, no. Trust me, if you can draw it, there's a ludicrous amount of energy in the earth. Like, I don't think a lot of people can really wrap their heads around how much energy there is in just the planet rotating. Stream is helping with me ideas. Yay! I don't think it's a matter of like getting the heat. I'm just trying to think of like I don't want to just use the it happens because of magic. You know what I mean? Like, I want there to be like a system in place. So if it doesn't fit into the system, then like we can't necessarily make that with the magic, if that makes sense. Hello, Rage Quitter. Kami's got you the hookup. Just make sure to read the rules and then react to the thing above the rules, and then you can see all the channels. Some people get stuck in the rules because the react thing isn't below the rules, it's at the top. So, but cryo still could work, right? Yeah, I'm totally stealing that. I'm stealing your cryo chill. I like that a lot. Magic makes you hot. Yeah, it do make you hot. Make you smoking. Brain can only run hot for a little bit before you go veggie. Yeah, then you die. Then you overheat and die. Stealing is illegal. No, he's happy with it. It's fine. Look, he's happy about it. But yeah, we'll talk about the we'll talk about the cooling system in a second here once the ad's over. I think the pressure at the bottom of the ocean and what it does to idiots, what it does to literally dozens of times deeper. Solid granite instead of yeah. I'll do a stretch. Hello, Ken. Actually, if a canary falls, who gets the loot? That's a fantastic question. There, Goose. I've stretched. Thank you, Ken. Okay, idea. The person I watch will usually have a heightened senses magic stone. I don't necessarily have something for that. Why not make another stone in the same color that gives a heightened senses spider sense kind of effect for a short range? Yeah, bro. I don't have a stone that would heighten senses. They're all kind of based around physical attributes. Well, I guess technically your senses are physical attributes, but they're like more creating like a physical, well, not physical, a magical like thing in the world. They're not necessarily now I'm not saying that they can't be in the future, it's just right now I don't have that. Because I need to figure out, I need to sit down and write limits on what the stones can and cannot do. And Cabo Corp, makers of fine combat boots for coil exploration and combat. Yes. Who gets the loot? That depends. Maybe their teammates get the loot. Maybe the monster eats them. Maybe the other team that didn't illegally kill them because they're sketchy, didn't take their loot. Maybe someone named Jeff just kind of runs up behind them and swipes the loot and runs into a lake full of crabs. Who knows? Who knows? Another question, is it, if it's like the Mount Everest, if it's like Mount Everest, someone dies down there, is it worth the effort to try and retrieve the body considering the difficulty in doing so? Yeah, so it kind of depends. There are people that go and retrieve bodies. Like that's their job. They're part of the cleaners. But yeah, if they're too far down and they can't get the body back up they're gonna just leave them there. They're not gonna, you know, like maybe their fellow canaries will strip some of their gear to survive longer. Maybe if they're nice, they'll bring something back for that canary's family, you know, blah, 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 blah. But if they can't get like someone down there to drag them out, or if the people with them can't drag them out, then the body's just gonna get left there. I had another thought. Instead of it only being there to dump cold into the system, what if it's also used to help drip feed cold? Like if you need to add time constraint to a story? Jeff! Damn it, Jeff. I picture the rat man running and grabbing the loot and he runs off. You don't understand, he was destined for greatness. No, I don't want to make it all bird related. Canary dog tags. Yeah! Bird tags. I don't know. Hold on, there was another question. Sorry, keep coughing. Yeah, Gamma, I would imagine that since the system's constantly kind of circulating because, it's a full body suit, and then if, you know, like your upper torso is normally hotter than like your ankles, it would constantly always kind of be circulating. So it wouldn't necessarily be like cold water, but it would just, you know, kind of like how like in your PC the water cooler is always kind of running whether the PC is super duper hot or not. But the ECC should be used as a freeze bomb. Oh no. All right, so we will talk about we'll talk about the guard cooling system, which I'm super proud of with the name. I did research for that. You guys are, it's so funny. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Look at me, dude. I'm so fucking smart. All right. Air cooling system, also known as a GCS among the canaries. So the guard cooling system is not a, it's not a brand. That's just like the general name of the actual system. So like how people call computers PCs or computers or, you know, keyboard. It's not like the brand is not guard cooling system. That's what the whole thing is. So you can have like, you know, I can't remember one of Robo's companies he made, but you know, like they could have a guard system and then someone else could have a guard system. So the mascot for Cabo Cabo would be a sword overlaid diagonally over a boot. I'm broke and now I got a Steam PC, yeah. Or Mad Cat suit maker, that would be funny, to be honest. Frost Guard and Vaporjet Dynamics. Yeah, so there could be like a Frost Guard GCS, or there could be a Vaporjet GCS. Second. So it wouldn't be like, you know, someone wouldn't call it a guard cooling system, someone else called it like a Philip cooling. Alright, so that is am I gonna rewrite this whole thing down? No. I'll just talk about it a little bit. I'll touch base on it and then you guys can go back when that VOD is up and you guys can check it out. But essentially what it is it's like the liquid cooler that you would use in your PC. It's a suit, kind of like a wetsuit that the canaries would put on under their armor. So it'd be like your underwear and then the GCS. And then it's basically got fluid in tubes and hoses, and it uses thermal siphoning to move the fluid around the tubes in the suit. And then you put your armor on and all your gear and stuff. And then at the back of the lower back, at the top of the hips, there would be a small tank with blow-off valves. So when you use your Drogtamech, when you use your magic, the user's body heat increases rapidly to dangerous levels. So what happens is as their like torso heats up, because the water's expanding, it pushes the hot water through the tubes, and then the cooler water that'd be by the ankles would, you know, push its way up into the torso, and then that would just keep cycling like that, cooling the body down naturally. If it gets too hot, then that's where the steam blow-off valves happen, so that you don't blow your system from the pressure. And then Robo made a thingy, sorry, my brain is not working. Cryo capsules? Cryo something? Cryo chill. Crossguard Technologies. Yes. Basically, I'm imagining emergency cooling canisters. Yeah. I'm thinking they're kind of gonna look like the CO2 canisters that you would get on like whipped cream canisters. Is what I was picturing. And then you can, like, if you're just getting like overly hot and like it's not cooling you enough, then you can kind of plug that into the tank on the back, and it pretty much like not flash freezes, because if it freezes it can't move, but like flash chills all the fluid in your suit, which would then flash chill you. But I was thinking the detriment to that is one, not dibarbitol, yeah. You know, if you continuously use this, like, one, it would cause issues with your suit eventually, because there's constant expanding and contracting, you know, in the tank, in the tubing around your body, things like that. And then two, I don't know if anyone's ever gone like outside when it's really super duper 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 hot, and then gone like someplace where it was like hyper AC, very cold. You get sick. Your body doesn't like extreme temperature changes like that. So I feel like if you would do that, if you did that a lot, especially during a fight, has anyone ever gone outside? I feel like, you know, it would be physically detrimental to your body. Like, I think, like, definitely, like, oh, if I don't do this, we're gonna die, then yes, absolutely. But I think if that's something you relied on continuously, you would get very sick, very unhappy, very, very big headaches. So that's what I was kind of thinking, because, you know, like, things are really cool, and then I have to think of a detriment to kind of pull it back, so it's not just like something you can abuse. Went from 110 outside into a freezer of -10. Yeah, see? Bigley knows what's up. That's the worst feeling. I get a migraine every single time. I also feel like maybe you could get like frostbite too if you used it. Or like if you didn't use it at the right time, like if you used it and you weren't hot enough, you would get frostbite, like where the tubing is. Because it would get really, really cold. Nausea like a motherfucker. Doing parkour in that situation. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna check out chat quick because I was doing a lot of rambling. At the top of the line, gas masks would be something akin to the ones from Desert Punk. I remember those came out with built-in night vision or air conditioning. That would be great for thermal vents. Yeah. I don't know if I want to do an entire stream. I don't know if I want to do an entire stream just on gas masks, but we'll see. The more I do these streams, the more I realize that like they've been very broad, and I almost think it's kind of necessary to break them down into smaller pieces. I do want to, once I get more time, so hopefully this fall, do like a YouTube series kind of like talking about specific things in more details and with a lot more continuity than rambling on stream. So if you guys feel like you missed something, just hold on. I will make stuff to make this make more sense. Could trigger hypothermia or worse, paradoxal undressing, which would be crazy dangerous down there. Is that when your nerves like shed their your nerves die pretty much? So cold you feel hot and get naked. Oh, weird. Okay, that's crazy. That's neat. All right, yeah, that would be really bad. I didn't know that was a thing. Phenomenon characterized by some fatal hypothermia cases. The victims, despite low environmental temperature, paradoxically remove their clothes with their sudden feeling of warmth. Wow. That's crazy. Nope, otter, I can't. That would be crazy. Yeah, so that's the thing. So now we can go into, let's see, we got an hour left of time. Oh no, speaking of which, my music just ended. Yeah. Just restart it. Oh. I like the other one better. We'll restart the other one. It's more imposing. Already been an hour? I know, I've been chatting for an hour. Now you guys understand why this is a just chatting stream and not like me trying to draw while I'm talking. Alright, so, we'll cover... A little bit tricks itself into thinking it's warmer by undressing it. I don't know what's worse, venturing in the unknown with equally unknown creatures or just seeing your canary buddy start stripping. That would be horrible if like you're fighting a monster and like your buddy keeps using these ECCs and then all of a sudden just starts taking his, like ripping his gear off. Like, I don't know if it's like a mental thing, like they just kind of go crazy and they start ripping their clothes off, or if it's just like they just feel really hot. Their flesh is still dead whether it's frozen or fried and the nervous system doesn't know the difference. There's something called curl up and die syndrome. Very creative. Which is suffering from hypothermia will actively seek out small tight places while they're freezing. Do kind of both. Yeah, so that would be traumatizing to watch. That might be a fun little thing to add to the comic to traumatize people with. Alright, I'm trying to figure out what to do next. We'll talk about the assault flyer a little bit because that's easy peasy lemon squeezy. The assault flyer is essentially... I think you have to worry about it too much seeing as the coils are hot as balls. Yeah, they're like a friendly like 90 degrees Fahrenheit on the inside. They are warm. They're not cool cave like temperate things. They are warm. They're not fun places. If you could overheat so bad you just burst into flames, I feel like you would die before that happened. Although spontaneous combustion is a thing. I don't know how it happens, but I have seen that it is in fact a thing that happens to people very rarely. Dies of hypothermia in 90-degree temperatures. Wouldn't that be nuts? I feel like at some point, like, just using the joke to mech and being in high stress situations and stuff, eventually your brain would start to go, you know? There's something in Russia called, I'm not even gonna attempt to rate past incidents, which there were multiple mountaineers who were found naked and mutilated, covered in radiation without explanation back in 1959. The case was prompted the study of paradox. Weird. Alright. You're saying I should invent mental stims now? We'll talk about that a little bit. Just because there was some thoughts that I had on that, so I don't want it to just be like something that people are like shooting up. But I did think about that. So the assault flyer is super duper simple. I can't remember what they're actually called in real life. But they're essentially a handle and you attach it to a rope and there's like a motor in it essentially. So it'd be like the red stone and then a couple other things that mechanically would cause wheels in it to pinch the rope and then spin. So eventually it would, you know, like in the Division they would drag you up. That's all an assault flyer is. I can't remember what they're actually called. Personal elevators. It's very simple, nothing too crazy. I did write a little bit of background for it. San Jose used, but it wasn't handheld. Yeah, it's like handheld. Now, I did write It's not very popular with most canary cages as they are heavy and require someone to climb and anchor a rope first. They can also become jammed easily if the rope is not completely cleared of debris. Teams with experienced guardians can scale a vertical surface faster than a team using assault flyers. Ascenders, that's what it was. Hello, Stormray. Hello, welcome. With the lamps, we can use a magic metal to make a better one or a longer lasting one. A lamp? Oh, we'll get to that. Hold on to that thought, Otter. So yeah, ascenders are a thing. People don't necessarily use them. I feel like people would make fun of cages that use that would use ascenders. And then sorry, my brain died. Yeah, so I feel like not a lot of people use them. People who do use them kind of get made fun of because it's kind of like, you know, like it's an easy way of doing a job. In my brain, I feel like there's a company that makes these assault flyers and is trying desperately to market them to canaries. So they have a canary team and they force them to use them all the time, and this team hates them for it. That's my headcanon, that these people have to put up with this. Use the steam glide. So yeah, that's my thought process on those. But they do exist. They're just not well used. Ascenders would be about the same. One hand holds the locked ascender, the other hand can be free to use a weapon. Who's fighting while they're flying, while they're going up a rope though? Or sponsorship stamp. Yeah, essentially. So we will go on to the lights. Peeps don't know how to rappel. I know, right? You can rappel just as easily as you can use a descender. But like something I explained like first or second stream, guardians, so the people that can create the shields, they can move their shields forward or back or up or down. So a guardian could essentially make a shield, have everyone stand on the shield, and then move the shield up. So you can move an entire team that way without someone having to climb first, or you could move someone, you can move a team down that way to a certain extent without having to, do the climbing, make the attaching, making sure that the rope is clear, all this stuff. So that's why it's not really a well-used technology. You heard of General Electric? Yeah, I made that joke. I was talking to Fubi about it the other day. I was like, yeah, like the people that make the toasters also make like the gear for the canaries, like General Electric. Enough creatures in a hole that can climb. Defending yourself while climbing sounds plausible. Maybe. Maybe you wouldn't be climbing while there's a monster attacking you. Maybe you would just be fighting the monster. All right, next thing. We'll talk about the light. There it is. Try to ride the monster. So the next thing we'll cover is the stunner light, which I thought this was neat. I'm gonna have a hard time explaining it though. I had a hard time explaining it. You never know when Deborah's going to poke her head out of the wall and eat your face. Well, I would not like to be waiting on someone to climb a freaking wall to attach an anchor before I have to deal with Deborah. So a stunner light consists of a magic metal handle with a funnel shape on one end, essentially a basic flashlight. Nothing crazy, guys. Stone is seated at the side of the funnel. I haven't decided what color stone this should be yet, but it would be a stone. And take it to stable and have the jerk refuse to let you stable it. Oh yeah, Otter, I don't know if you were there for that stream, but we decided that monsters can't leave the coils. They can leave technically, but they'll die. They'll suffocate and die. Yeah, I was thinking like orange or blue. Couldn't decide if orange or blue. Don't see inside the funnel. Some crackles with enough energy that is funneled forward, working as a light. Is also enough energy produced that if someone would funnel against another body, it would essentially... I like how I'm not like just copying and pasting. I'm typing it out for you guys. Extra cute. Target. Canaries often customize and personalize. I can spell, I promise. Their stunner lays. It's a stun gun. But here's the hang up. Stunner lights only work inside of the coils. You can't use them outside. They don't work. They don't light up. So I will I will also, why am I coughing? These allergies are killing me. Oh, it is a bit cut out. Why is it doing that? Yeah, I was adding spaces to them so that they wouldn't. I don't know. It's the capture software I'm using. I think that's doing that. Dude. Go. Yeah, you can only use them inside the coils. They won't work outside. Can you use them as lights, maybe, or just distress codes? I mean, you can't turn, so that's the thing with them, is you can't turn them on or off. If you enter the coil, they are on. If you leave the coil, they're off. So like you could cover your light with your hand. You know what I mean? But you could do that. That would work. I don't know if someone wants... What's the reason they don't work outside? I don't know. It's strange. It's like nobody knows. It's just something, there's just a reason. There's a reason why they don't. Something to do with the coils, I suspect. It's odd. Really, truly odd. We scientists haven't figured it out. No, I'm not BSing it. I have an actual reason, but it's plot, so I can't tell you. So you're just gonna have to operate like you don't know. Because you don't know. Nobody really knows. Bonk. Damn, imagine apocalypse now, but the coil veteran canary goes in to take down a legendary canary who went schizo and tame the monsters. Oh no. That sounds like a terrible idea. Heckin' magic. That implies that there should at least be a huge lab at the base of the coil entrance, though, which would probably be part of the base camp station. There's stuff on top of the coil because like we said before, it's like a big funnel, so it's wider on the top and then it goes into like a giant basin and it gets smaller at the bottom. So sitting on top of it is like a, you know, that's where the... Oh my gosh, I keep burping. I'm having so many issues. Yeah, like a big wasp nest. You know, all the admin and labs and stuff, and you know, where people come in and out to go to work and all that jazz. And then like the first few layers are safe to enter. You know, they're built up. There's lights. There's air getting pumped in. There's things like that. You know, obviously there's guards, but they're built up. A big ass stalactite. Yes, exactly. The giant alien monster wasp nest with a human city built on top of it. Yeah! Totally safe! It's safe. Don't worry about it. It's safe. Alright, so what haven't we covered? I think we only have 2 more to do on my end. You guys want to know about the luminescence first, or you want to know about the campfires first? Victorian era safety standards be like, yeah, totally fine. Nothing bad would happen if we built a city on top of it. Alright. Talk about the campfires. Campfire song! So, campfires are, emergency safety resting areas, I guess is what I would call them. Fire cleanses. They are a... Yeah, no, that's right. Portable device. So this would be one of the things that maybe the canaries themselves wouldn't be carrying, but maybe an apprentice or a mule would be carrying it, because while it's still relatively small, it's kind of one of their bulkier items. But it is something that's like personal that you could carry. Well, not personal, but it would be something that like you would carry on your person. Made of cool colored stones and pick. I'll fix the cutoff in a second. Aries can use to create a temporary bubble of safety. So this isn't someplace you would like sleep in. Fires, camp, fires, fries, camp fries, fires. Lloyd. Create bubble like shield. Around and yeah. Is it diameter? Is all the way across, or is that radius? No, diameter is all the way across, right? Camp fries, tasty. Correct, okay. About 20 feet. Da-da-da. Sorry, I'm trying to read my notes. It's kind of hard sometimes. As a built-in quick filter that sucks in and breaks magic metal fumes. A fenced off space in about 3 minutes. Eep, eep, eep. Base camp to wield more. Yeah, but with where canaries are going, they're not going to have tracks. I mean, like maybe if they walked back, but canaries are specifically scouts, so they wouldn't have like access to something with tracks on a regular basis. Because that's something that needs like infrastructure. Fields last 10 to 30 minutes, depending on the quality stones in manufacturing. So this is basically something you would pop up if somebody's injured and you need to treat them quickly, if someone's having gas mask issues and it needs to be fixed. If you need to stop and take a break and like eat, if you need to rest and just like chill for a bit. But it's not something that lasts long, so it's not something you could like spend the night in. I feel like they could be recharged, because if you maybe there's units. This is me just thinking like right now off the top of my head. Maybe there's units where like the stones are interchangeable, or they're like you can pull them out and recharge them in the actual coil like slingers do if you have enough time. Obviously you can't use it if you're recharging stones, so if you have extra stones you can recharge them and like keep swapping them depending on your situation. But yeah, so this would be like a temporary safety zone. They're on long expeditions. Maybe they would have a non-tracked heavy wheelbarrow cart with a porta canary. They would need somewhere to. So canaries don't actually haul back anything. The indies probably would, but they wouldn't have access to have like an additional person to have like stuff. Like maybe they have someone with them that's willing to carry stuff, but they wouldn't have like the extra gear involved with that. Canaries have a follow-up team, so that's like the cleaners and the harvesters, and they're the ones that go and they actually harvest from the monsters, which actually is a perfect lead-in to the next and final item on my list. Goku, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the meat hall. Thank you, welcome. Oh, I'm chugging water. My throat's so dry. All right, so the third and final thing, the final thing I have on my list, we're making pretty good time, is called Luminescence. Players have to go back and help the cleaners harvesters if they get attacked, if they miss some monsters. No, basically, well, so I'm gonna explain what Luminescence is, but they wouldn't go back. They would probably, harvesters would probably have like a detail of guards with them. So I don't know if that would necessarily be canaries, but maybe just experienced fighters that have like normal weapons, and then they'd have like a bigger group along to fight. But maybe they'd have like, maybe that's something like older canaries would do that can't like fight on the front lines necessarily, but they can go and like kind of act as guards to the harvesters and the cleaners and stuff like that. I think would be like a good job for someone who's not quite ready for retirement yet, but can't keep up with the youngins. Alright then, changes up design for a minecart. Instead of that, it's a stationary at base camp and safe houses, a big cooling unit that connects to the GCS to flush it before and after use. Yeah, that would make sense. Alright, so I will talk about Luminescence and what Luminescence is. Are these notes helpful? Can you guys read it? I shouldn't be asking this near the end, but I mean, I'll share this with you. I feel like this was better than what we did last time. I can read it, okay. Trying to make a booger. But I'll post this all in the Discord too. You guys get my notepad. Getting a small armored train vibe. Yeah, I mean maybe where they can build tracks. It was at 7020p too? Okay, cool. So Luminescence. This one's a little bit more difficult to explain, so bear with me. Group of stones that go together to create pegging system that carries use to peg their skills for a clean up crew. Harvest later. Ta-da! Trying to stuff things into a barrel. Okay, Bleach. You missed all the critical information. I'm not sure when you left. So... Okay, cleaners. So cleaners and harvesters. Harvesters would have a blue stone assigned to a specific Canary cage. like a lens. I'll just get that Robo nerd to get me the. Be nice to Robo. Stop bullying him. You're like a high school bully. Gross. And the luminescence attached to an item. It's like a spike. Well, yeah, hold on. I love your excitement. Canaries have several slivers of blue stone that they sink into. Oh, sorry. That are synced with the lens. Oh yeah. To attach kills and slivers. Is that how you spell sliver? Yeah. And slivers of yellow stones to attach to fallen Aries. When a cleaner looks through the lens. Wow. Lens. Paint trails are visible. Leading the cleaners to the tag. So basically, like, if you killed a monster and you wanted to mark it with a blue thing, you could, like, essentially what they do is they just stick it into the monster. Like, they just stab it into the monster. Hello, Ketsu! You even damaged my paint job, damn. Bleach, you bully ass. So it's literally just like a broken piece of stone, of like gem essentially, that's like, you know, maybe like a couple inches long, like 2 or 3 inches long, and they just stab it into something like a spear. So if your buddy dies and you need someone to go pick up the body, you would take the yellow one and you would stab it into like their leg or something. Or I guess you could, like, you know, stick it into their gear so it's kind of sticking out. Or you can stab it into the leg. And then the cleaners and harvesters can kind of use that lens to... it's pretty much the same. To hunt them down and find their stuff. Find their gear, find their body, find their stuff. How are the trails propagated? Do the trails depend on the wind air flow, or is it like the trail follows the path that the person brought stuff? It follows, it makes like a straight line to it. So it would like go through walls. So you would have to use your like mapping ability. Like, you know, obviously like, oh, like I'm looking through the lens and, you know, the line goes straight through the wall to the south. I'm like, okay, well, we have a map from like the last 3 canaries that went down here. And we know if we take a left and take a right and then take another left, we'll be heading south. So it's like a magic connection, so it wouldn't be affected by air or anything like that. We have the technology. It's not like a tracking device. And being a cleaner sounds like ass, but it's better than being a miner. So you could drop a stone down a questionable hole and see where it goes. You could, I think if I dropped something down a hole, I would imagine it would just go straight down. But yeah. Okay, so different parties would have a different frequency for these to be able to differentiate between multiple parties. Yeah. So a cleaner has like a specific lens for a specific cage. So if you, like, if a cleaner is assigned to like 2 or 3 cages of canaries, 2 or 3 different teams, you know, you'd have a lens for team 1, a lens for team 2, a lens for team 3. If you use a lens for team 2, you're not going to see team 1 stuff, you're gonna see team 2 stuff, because that's just how they're synced. I was thinking that maybe each canary team would like have their own set of cleaners, but that doesn't really make sense. So I would think it would just be like... Ah, okay, sorry, I think about... No, that's fine, that's perfect. These are fantastic questions. These are good. These are good questions. A lot of the times you guys ask questions that I haven't thought about, so I don't really know how to answer them yet, but there's still questions that needed to be asked that I haven't asked myself yet. So it's like, it's good you guys are asking these questions. Now time to invent magic radios. So I will say Robo. The production teams have radios essentially, but the Canaries do not have radios. Red team, blue team, yellow team, basically. No, they would all still, because blue is for monster kills, yellow is for canary, so it wouldn't be differentiated by color. It would just be like what slivers are synced with what lens. Why, may I ask? For several reasons. One, it's very difficult. They're very, very expensive to make. And canaries tend to work in very small groups, and they don't split off. So normally they're working in about teams of 3, maybe 6, depending on what they're doing in the group they're going in. So they wouldn't really be splitting up, mostly because the way their powers work, they play off of each other and they're stronger together. And then radioing all the way back to base camp, it's very far, and there's a lot of magic metal and stuff. So it doesn't work very well. How the productions teams do it, because the production teams don't really, the TV teams don't really go down farther into the coils. They have their very set area of, you know, this is safe for my very expensive production equipment to go, and you know, this is, we can control the area, we can control what the audience sees, you know, we have control in this specific area. So then they can make boosters to push the signal out to where they need to be. But if you're just a normal canary and you're going spelunking and you don't know where you're going, the radios aren't going to connect. And we're also in an ad. So I hope that makes sense. A lot of this stuff is rambling, but how big are the slivers? Like a small stick that's carried in a belt? Yeah, just like a skinny, but like longer. Like I'd say like 2 or 3 inches long, and then maybe like a half an inch, quarter of an inch wide. Like they're very thin. So like you could make several slivers from one stone. And then when the cleaners, you know, recover the monster, or they recover the you know, the canary body, they would then return the slivers if, you know, they're in, I don't know, if they don't get destroyed for some reason, they would just return that to that team then. Swagger stick, yes. I don't know why they would get destroyed, but I guess if another monster started eating, you know, a canary body, or if they started eating another monster, they might get destroyed. I would imagine the cleaners would have like wheelbarrows or something to carry stuff back with. But they would also like have a lot more tools, so like bone saws and things like that to get chunks out. Would there be dangers of other canaries coming along and swapping slivers? Absolutely. Yep. Healing kills? Yep. I don't think that would be unheard of. I would imagine most canaries would function in different areas of the coil. But I don't see why that wouldn't happen. That would probably happen a lot, actually. You know, you just happen upon someone's kill. Cleaners got them flaming woofers. They're gonna clean everything. Because the coils themselves are massive, so it's not like there's one doorway in and everyone goes in the doorway and then, you know, they like eventually split off into like 4 doors, and then, you know what I mean? Like, it's big. Like some legendary creature gets got and someone just rushes down to steal the glory. Yeah, that could happen. There wouldn't be a lot of communication. Where like you could listen, you know, it's like, because there's no radios, you couldn't like sit on like a radio frequency and be like, oh, so and so just got this massive kill, like, and they're in this area, let's like run down there and get them. It would just, the cleaners themselves would see that line, and they would know they'd have to go pick something up when they get there. Yeah, but the illegal canaries laundering the kills. Yeah, nothing says that can't happen, not even a little bit. Nothing says that can't happen. That could absolutely happen, positively. Time to booby trap bodies? Yeah. I haven't thought about what you would do to booby trap them, but I don't see why you like that could absolutely be a thing. Oh show. Now this is dark and darker. So there is a lot of it's the webcom is gonna have some messed up themes. I don't know how to say it without it sounding like really fucking weird. Like nothing. It's not gonna be like a super duper happy comic. You know? I think egg detached in the wrong way. Well, too bad. It explodes in your face now. Yeah. Oh yeah, because if you booby trap it, then you know you could blow up the cleaners, and that would be bad if you blew up cleaners and harvesters. Dark and Darker, the video game. Oh, I have no idea. I've never heard of that. Booby. Oh yeah, that's pretty much all the gear I have created. So would canaries themselves have some sort of slivers on them for tracking purposes, like if they got lost? That's a good point. Maybe they would each have their own sliver on them. Like they would each have one yellow sliver on them, and then like when they came back. Hello, Mr. Candyman. Welcome back. By Thor. Yeah. So maybe they would all like have their own sliver on them, and then if they fell, you know, that sliver would still be on them, so then they could be found. Thank you, Abs. Have a good night, Nini. So how is lighting handled? Mostly by flashlight, lanterns, those sorts of things. The more built up areas at the top of the coil would have like overhead lighting and things like that. But not... any IFF. Infrared? Got a new job, been doing it for 3 months now. Nice, nice. Identify friend or foe. Oh. Identify friend or foe. No. I don't think so. I mean, not beyond like, I don't know, maybe if people wanted to do like calls or something specifically, because like in the grand scheme of things, it's not people versus people versus people, or companies versus companies versus companies. It's supposed to be humans versus monsters, you know, like that's our main thing, you know, or it's just humans trying to improve their lives with monsters. So there wouldn't need to be development of something like that. We don't talk about blue on blue casualties, you know what I mean? That's not something that happens here. We don't, that's not, humans are very kind. We're all supporting each other. Take system where you can detect. I don't have anything for that. I don't think so. No, I don't think there would be a tag system like that, because the way the tags work for the luminescence is you have to like physically hold up a lens in front of your eye to see it. So, you know, it wouldn't make sense to be walking around like that all the time. Monsters have that too, though? What do you mean? Heartbeat. Oh yeah, monsters do have heartbeats. We think. We don't know. Maybe they don't. I don't know. We haven't gotten that far yet. We've only made Deborah. Does Deborah have a heartbeat? I don't think we covered that. Maybe Deborah doesn't have a heartbeat. But yeah, no, I don't really want to have some kind of like tag like that. I feel like that's a little bit too high tech for me. Tungsten ore is glowing in UV light. Yeah, well actually opal glows in UV light. I found out. I didn't know that. Do humans have hearts? At least one, I think. So. You guys have any other questions? Are the monsters normal biological creatures or something else? They are biologicals. Biologics? They're biologics. That's all I'm gonna say on that. They have meat. Can magic create a monster like a summon? Drogdemek cannot create or summon monsters, no. Rocks glowing in the presence of these cultures, lulz. Mio, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the meat hall. Hello, hello, welcome. We're just covering some lore, if you're new. Or if you've been here for a hot minute. The magic system in this is different from like your standard like fantasy magic. So there's not gonna be a lot of explosive like DPS type like fireballs or meteor showers or summoning or undead necromancy or anything like that. It's like it's a magic system, but it's not like your like blow up crazy magic kind of thing. They just use paper for maps. How do they find their way out? I would imagine their maps would be on like linen or like suede or leather or something that's a little bit more durable. So are there also just completely non-hostile creatures, or is it completely hostile environment? I'm still on the fence about that. Original plan like a year ago, it was all just supposed to be like hyper hostile, but then like as things have been developing, I would think there'd be like smaller creatures and, you know, maybe not necessarily like prey animals. I don't know yet. Because I have reasons for it to be a completely hostile environment, but it's plot, so I can't explain it to you, unfortunately. You have friends. Does it follow the Vancian way of casting? I'm not sure what that means. Players have first aid kits and they quickly patch their suits duct tape. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna write that down and I forgot. I didn't get to. I would think they'd have something similar to like an IFAK. I would think that they would patch their suits. That would be because again, they have to travel relatively light. So, right, getting hit would be a big deal if they weren't wearing armor because it could wreck their suits. And I would think they'd have some kind of like repairs, but they'd be very like nitty gritty, like down and dirty kind of, you know, we're just gonna get this to work so we can get out and get like a fix, like a real fix later. Yeah, like duct tape. Like they get a hole and they just slap some Flex Seal on it and move on with their lives. I'll always look into domesticating smaller monsters. A couple people talked about that, and we kind of decided that monsters can't leave the coil because the air inside the coil is toxic to humans, but then the air outside of the coil is toxic to monsters. So unless you had some way to keep that air inside the monster's lungs the same air that's in the coils, you wouldn't be able to take a monster out and like domesticate it. I would think though inside like the labs they would have like the smaller monsters and like plants and stuff like under study, but the labs would be like in like the top, very top layer of the coil. If someone's wounded or weak, they may take the opportunity to make a strike. Yeah. Hey, Cape Chicken Farm. Like D&D Regent's Words and Waggle Fingers. Oh, gotcha. No, it's not quite like that. I explained it a little bit on this, on the magic system stream. I'm trying to figure out how to explain it without getting like full into the magic system. It's all internalized, and it feeds off of the energy in people's blood and off their like soul, quote unquote. So it's not like they have to like say a magic word and like do a magic hand sign. to use their magic. It's just kind of something like, you know, like how you blink or how you breathe or how you move your arm. It just is something that like naturally is like part of their body, if that makes sense. Drawstrings on top of the arms or legs in the suit so that they could tie it down to keep the rest of the suit intact until they could escape. I picture it as like a wetsuit, so it's very close and tight to their body. So there wouldn't really be a need for like drawstrings and stuff. And tactical home defense stubber with a gas mask, yes. Crap. Creature's probably only hostile when threatened. Stick rocks in your parts and it does magic. So there are some chuny canaries though, right? Through the cameras. I'm not sure what the fuck question that is. What? You mean like Chunibyo? What are you asking? I'm sorry. I don't know what you're actually asking. Like ones that do crazy shit and like are all dramatic and stuff? Is that what you're asking? They're like dramatic for the sake of being dramatic. People being over the top, casting magic spells for attack. Yeah. Yeah. So like, you know, like maybe someone does do that and they like have like a, you know, like, they have like, they call out like their attack before they make it. Yeah, theater kids. But it's not something that they like need to do to use their magic. they have to explosion. Yeah. Oh yeah, there definitely be people that like call out their attacks or like do crazy like flips and stuff or hand signs. Or I would picture someone who like has to like, who's like super edgy emo and has to like draw on their skin or something with like a piece of charcoal before they use their magic. No. It's honestly open to almost anything, is because like that was the one thing I wanted, because I'm like, you know, I'm making all this. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, with the TV production, I can make the armor. Oh no. Daganiers? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the meat hall. If I said your name wrong, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to. I'm really bad at saying names. But thank you. I'm really happy you're here. Welcome to the meat hall. But yeah, I was like, oh, because there's like a TV show, like I can make like the unreasonable armor that doesn't make sense and is fancy and stuff. Like I can do that because it's a TV show. They want that, you know. Clay, thank you for the gift sub. Thank you, thank you. Imagine a situation where a veteran canary has to babysit an overly dramatic newbie. Absolutely. The one thing I'm really excited about with this is there's so many like supporting characters or like people that just like aren't part of the like main cast, that like it gives a lot of opportunity for like silly things or crazy things or sad things to happen like in the background that can also be like explored, which I'm really excited about. Like if you guys wanted to, like if you feel like you have enough you feel like you have enough information and you wanted to, you're like, I want to make a canary team and like these are my 3 people or these are my 6 people on the team and like this is how they interact with each other, like please go for it and I will figure out how to work them in, even if they're just like background characters or something. Like go for it. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to fit into the world perfectly. It's okay. I demand a depressed quartermaster. Yes. But I will... Yes, just like an RPG, exactly. I will fit them in. I like Jeff. Jeff is gonna be somewhere. I don't know where yet, but Jeff will be somewhere. Imagine this, and all I thought about was the comics involving the German Shepherd and the kitten. Oh, yeah! Gotta figure out who's on my canary team. Yeah, you guys gotta make a canary team. And like I said, there's indies. So there could be people that are like more like dirt poor and like hard, you know, gritty and stuff, and they're just trying to survive. Then you can have like the really fancy theater kids. You can have like people in between. You can have like the military type, you know. Captain of the guards who's actually competent, but he's stuck with a bunch of rich, incompetent kids who were put there simply because they're fancy, their family connection. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so there'd also be like, because you know those top couple layers, so like there's like on top, which is above ground, as like admin buildings and like licensing, and where the TV production, you know, that like office building would be, stuff like that. Down below, like the first layer would probably be like labs, things like that. Maybe like equipment. That's where the cleaners would be, things like that. And then like I feel like a second layer would also be kind of more built up like that. I don't know what they'd be doing yet, but like I feel like the second layer would still be more like on the built up side. And then you would get into like the tunnels where it gets sketchy. You know, if you wanted to like make a team of cleaners, or if you wanted to write stuff as like a lab person, like doing experiments on stuff. You know, and then like obviously those 2 layers would be guarded for the safety of the people inside. You know, and they wouldn't necessarily be guarded by canaries or people that were canaries. You know, they could just be normal people that have, you know, military experience, or were like given a spear, you know what I mean? Like maybe some retired canaries are among their ranks, but it wouldn't just be like solely canaries. So top 2-3 layers are just completely safe and secured. They are secured. I'm not saying they're completely safe or secured, but they are secured enough for people to become complacent. Second layer where they filter out ore and minerals from the mined rocks for further refinement outside. Yeah. That's a good way to, yep. Yeah, because all the ore refinement and stuff actually happens in the basin below the coil in the Strigan district. So it's kind of, you know, it goes up and then back down. But, you know, there's a lot of toxins and stuff released. So the people in the Lucian quarters, they don't want to mess with that. They don't want all their toxins and their pollution and stuff, like, above their city. Because it's heavy. So it stays in the basin where it belongs. With the trash. Not gonna lie, I feel like making a self-insert arms dealer character. Do it, dude. Fucking do it. No balls. This has become way more of a community thing than I ever intended, but I love it. The guards would be more conventional guards, like on the service side. I'm curious to see the difference in equipment / training the service guards have versus canaries. I will say, I don't have like a whole breakdown of that. I will say most guards don't have stroke to mech in the sense that canaries have it. Some people, a lot in the Lucian quarters, will have stroke to mech installed, but it's not for combat. It's stuff for like ease of use. For example, one of the things I wrote up was that you can have like a stone implanted into your wrist, and then people would make it look pretty because Lucian people have money and they want to look fancy. And the stone doesn't actually produce any weapons. It doesn't produce a shield. It doesn't do slinger magic. It just is in your skin. But it has it's tagged to you, kind of like how the luminescence works. So you can use that to like open your house door, you know, as like an automatic lock. You can use it to go into secured areas. You can use it to charge, you know, to start your toaster when you walk by it, you know, to turn on your TV. Like, it's strictly for convenience sake. It's not a weapon. And a lot of people in the Lucian quarters have stuff like that. It's a smartwatch. I can cast Toast on demand, essentially. So guards lead more into the conventional weapons tactics level to level the playing field. Yes. Yeah. Because Drogtamech is still very expensive, and it's still very, obviously it takes a massive toll on the user's body, and it's not something that everyone can have installed and use it as weaponry. So, like, they wouldn't be able to flesh out an entire army of canaries. Like, they are still, while there are a lot of them that go into the coils, they are relatively rare in comparison to the population. I'm ready for toasters. Oh, now he's ready for the toaster stream. Man, I don't know if I have the mental capacity right now for the toaster stream. That's literally inventing something. Maybe instead of making a monster stream, we'll be like making a toaster stream. Maybe we'll do that. Because I don't know if I have the, like, it's a lot of mental capacity to make a toaster that works on magic. But yeah. So the toaster brother? Yeah. So a lot of people, I'm trying to think of like other things that are like convenience sake. I feel like well, I'm trying to figure out how TVs work because I don't want them to just be like a TV. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make them more fantasy-esque or fantasy-esque. But yeah, I haven't figured that out either. So toaster TV stream when? Maybe? But that's more or less the Canary Gear. I hope there's a TV. One of my stories kind of relies on that. There are TVs. They won't be called TVs, I don't think. I'll call it something else. But they do exist. My entire story also relies on that. So. State media receiver? That's a little too, crunchy. I'm as zoned out in my game and fighting dinos. Oh no, TV. Yeah, does anyone have any other questions before I wrap it up? Guys, could you write more into miners reports, please? It feels lonely in there. I think we need to make more monsters is what we need to do. Kind of like the slivers have different frequencies. Oh, that's a good idea, Clay. Actively working on another one, but I'm lazy. Have you tried just not being lazy? I had monsters and reports. I feel like things are getting more fleshed out. Is there okay, do you guys have any specifics on what you would like the next stream to be? I have a list. Hold on, I'll give you a list. I have one. Is there anything you guys are really excited about that you want to hear more about? I'd like it to be mandatory and fun. Oh, I think we're gonna do ASMR tomorrow. Everything! Kinsu's invested. Open design styles and typical patterns. Oh my god, okay, that one's gonna take a while. Topside tech, or are we focusing down below? No, we can do topside stuff, absolutely. We've just kind of been stuck in the coils, so we can definitely go outside of the coils. That's perfectly fine. Missy wants to listen and forget about her own writing. Oh no. The biomes in the coil. Okay. So wait. I'm gonna write these down because you guys are coming up with new ideas. In the coil. Can't write an arms dealer character if I don't know how the weapons behave in the world. That one's gonna, yeah, actually, now that you say that. Designs. Because Canaries use their built-in weapons through their joke to max, so Canaries probably wouldn't be purchasing too many weapons. That being said, there's other people in the world in very dangerous areas that will need weapons that can't necessarily use joke to max. Facebook designs. There we go. Tech. Would it be possible to collapse a coil through overmining? No, but I can't tell you why. No, it would not be possible. Oh, actually, that brings me back to another point that I should have mentioned when we were talking about maps at the beginning, but I totally forgot. Maps are used, but they're not super accurate. For some reason, when maps, they don't know if it's because like the Canaries aren't just particularly good at making maps or if they're too distracted. But the maps never seem to be super duper accurate after a certain amount of time. So they're accurate enough for some time, but like if you put a map away and brought it out a couple years later, it wouldn't be an accurate map. Or maybe the Canaries fudge the maps for personal game. They don't know. They don't know what's going on. So, you know, you have to take a map with a grain of salt unless it's a brand new map. Coil is a living, breathing, changing organism. It changes over time. It's It's a living coil. Oh no. It's a spoopy dude. Ah. I don't know. Maybe it's just a rock. Who knows? Might just be a rock. But yeah, you guys have, I'm gonna give you one more chance to ask questions. Otherwise, feel free to ask them in the Discord and I'll answer when I can. It's not just a boulder, it's a rock. A rock. Yeah, so, but that's, okay, I must go. Thank you very much for the stream. Thank you for coming, Clay. I appreciate you being here. It's a shard of Cthulhu. It's a canon event. It cannot be changed. Oops, I just hit the wrong... I just accidentally clicked the wrong thing. Ignore that. That didn't happen. Also a canon event. It cannot be changed. Oh. So, do we want to, if there's no more questions, do we want to raid somebody? Because I have someone we could possibly raid. Kick. I'll tell you the title of their stream, and I think you guys really needed this. This is a bro podcast about getting babes now. Yeah. Oh, okay, though, before we do, sends to... Have a good one, Razor. Bro, what? Yeah, dude, you guys need help getting babes. Yep. You guys need help with the babes. This is a VTuber, though. Have you guys heard of Jubiphonic? I would like to raid Jubiphonic. Does covers. I did not know she was a VTuber, but apparently she's a VTuber now. My Mao Zedong hairline makes a difference. So we will raid her. Oh, it's only a follower, chat. That's okay. We can still raid her. Charging! Charging, guys! I will see you there! Have a great night! Thank you for coming! Bye-bye!